Okay, that is it for the pouch that goes in the base of the backpack. And wait till you guys see how small it actually is. This screwdriver right here actually goes in one of the main front pockets of my LBV. It's kind of a cheap screwdriver. You can pull it apart. You have slotted on one end, and then, whoops, I dropped it. You have a Phillips on the other. You have a number 2 and a number 3 of each. Let's see if I can reach around here with my other hand. And you can just pull these out and fix these. Sorry about the focus, guys. Again, I'm not a cameraman. I'll pick up that screwdriver later. Let's go ahead and let's keep moving on here. All right, now we're at the stuff that's actually in my LBV, my load-bearing vest that I wear over my gear. Right here in my, within the same pocket as that screwdriver, which I dropped the handle for, we have a basic set of, these are really cheap channel locks. I actually really want to replace these. These are some good basic little pliers. Dikes. I think I actually have 2. Yeah, I do have 2. I have 2 pairs of dikes, 3 if you count those wire strippers over there. So handy, not just for cutting wires, cutting zip ties, cutting cables, cutting anything. And the other thing, the other reason I have 3 pairs of them, they wear out fast, especially the cheap ones. They get dull fast. These go right in one of the main pockets in my load-bearing vest. Flashlight. This is actually one of a few flashlights. No brainer, guys. No friggin' brainer, right? Needle nose pliers. These go on the opposite side of my load-bearing vest. Again, this is something that you're going to need a lot, and I can just pull them right out of my pocket and have them. This is one of the most. This is like one of the most used tools by pretty much everyone. So no need to explain that. All right, tape measure. Why did I pack a tape measure in a bug out survival kit? It was there. To be quite honest, guys, it was there. There wasn't a whole lot of thought that went behind that, but I think it could come in handy. So I'm going to trust my instinct on that. Now, you're probably asking, what in the hell is that weird shaped thing behind the tape measure, Ryan? I will show you. This is, in true mechanic fashion, a lot of my tools are handmade. When we figure out how to fix stuff, we figure out better ways to do it and make our own tools. This is a tool I actually originally designed to pull exhaust springs on a motorcycle to assemble exhaust pipes. And it's a great spring puller. But this is useful for so many things, you never know what this is going to be useful for. This is one of those, it takes up basically no room. It weighs like an ounce. Why not? To be quite honest. This right here, are we in frame? I think we're in frame. Well, now we are. This is my trusty ball peen hammer. Now you're like, wow, that looks really beat up, and why do you have duct tape wrapped around it? I trust. Believe me, guys, the duct tape is not holding it together. The duct tape is, it's a long story. I've been through a lot with this hammer. When I was working as a mechanic, and you can probably ask any mechanic and they're going to tell you the same thing, this is my #1 most used tool. This is what I always tell people. When I was a mechanic, my 2 most used tools were this ball peen hammer and this flathead screwdriver. But not for screwing, for prying. Because guess what, guys? Broken machines sometimes need to be forced. It's not like working on a computer. It's okay to bash a machine. Don't quote me on that. Alright, so let's put this stuff back. Now let's move on to some more stuff. Okay, so right here I have 3 basic different sizes of vice grips. I've wrapped rubber bands around them to keep them from popping open in the bag so they take up less space. I think that's actually a really good idea. Yeah, 3 basic sizes. We got some needle nose, we got some rounded off ones, and we got some, if you need to grab a bigger nut than I have wrenches for, bam, right here. If you don't want to use the adjustable, you can use this. Sure, you know, it's not the best thing and it may round it off, but we're talking about end of the world situation, and this stuff right here is actually pretty compact and there's not much to it. We got to really save space where we can. Let's go ahead and look at the last remaining tools that we have here. Okay, now we're coming to some more of the essential tools, and I will show you again. I'm going to show you guys where all this stuff goes in the pack here in just a moment. Let's see if we can get a better shot here. I'll try to work some zoom. I'll try to be a cameraman. If you guys don't know what this tool is, I'm sorry, we can't be friends anymore. Anytime you're stranded on the road in a car, you need to be prepared to fix anything that's wrong with that car. And this is one of the simplest, guys, if you don't know, this is a battery terminal cleaner. Okay, so now we could be friends. Now you know what it is. It's a battery terminal cleaner. It's a simple little tiny thing. cleans the inside and the outside of the terminals, and it's absolutely essential, and it won't go back together with one hand. So we're just going to put that down there. No worries, we'll fix that. Another number 2 Phillips. Why another? Because this one is tiny, and car manufacturers don't like to put stuff in places that's easy to reach. Yep, no brainer. Actually, you know, I kind of think a lot of this stuff is. This is my my big ass number 3 slotted screwdriver. I don't use it to screw anything unless I have to. I use this to pry. It's kind of a cheap one, and it's really stout. It's really sturdy. I mostly use this to pry things where I couldn't reach that crowbar or my breaker bar. Another set of dikes. These are bigger. They're too big to fit in my LBV pocket, so these go in the pouch on the back of the belt with everything else. Again, dikes dull really fast, guys. Just cutting wire, you'd be surprised, if you don't already know, how fast they can dull. Moving down here, you've seen the multi-tool. I'd love to pack my full multimeter system, but I just don't have room for that. So I'm packing nothing but a little testing light. If you know anything about electrical systems, this thing is so versatile. Sure, it'd be great to have a multimeter, but we're running with the testing light. We got limited space here, guys. All right, here are the wrenches I chose to take. This is what I wanted to really talk about. We're limited on space. I chose 3 sizes of wrenches, 10, 12, and 13. Why did I only choose 10, 12, and 13? I believe these are the most common sizes that you're going to find. Pretty much as far as I know, any battery terminal you're going to encounter is going to be either 10 millimeter or 1/2 inch, which is 13. The 12 is one of the most common fasteners on any vehicle. I keep talking about vehicles, but remember, guys, my past experience comes from being a mechanic, so this is simply the frame of mind I'm going to have. Everyone's going to have their own, their own ideas as to how to prep. Right here we have the same sockets, 10, 12, 13, a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, and a couple different little extensions. That's part of the reason we have the breaker bar that I showed over here, because this little wrench, I packed a 1/4 inch drive because we need to save every bit of space we can. The breaker bar fits nicely right over this and can help us get some extra torque when we need it. And then right here we have our adjustable wrench. This is for, again, you're going to have to make do sometimes. This is for everything. Those sockets won't fit. All right, guys, now I'm going to show you how all this is packed and how compact it really is in the backpack and in my Go kit when I get it down to size. First of all, this little roll right here not only works as a great tool mat, but it also contains all of this stuff over here. It's pretty amazing how simple this actually is. We're just gonna, this stuff just simply, yeah, it's this easy, guys. All right, we only got a few spots left, so we're just going to tuck these. I'm going to fold this razor blade thing over to keep them from coming out. We're going to tuck these razor blades right in here. Our little, key ring tool. So useful. We're just going to stuff this little guy in here. I'll stuff it behind, who cares. These Allen wrenches. Just going to stuff these in here with the razors. And we're just going to kind of willy-nilly this real quick. We're trying to get through this. Our little mini channel locks, well, there's one of many places these guys will fit. Here, that works, right? This is not... And then our zip ties simply go right here. We can fold this over, roll this up, cinch this down, and there we got almost half of our thing, almost half of this table in this one little bag right here. Let's go ahead and move some of this stuff over on the bench, and I'll show you right where this goes in the pack.